The cafe opened every morning at 8. It was small, clean, quiet, the kind of place people visited before work or after long walks. The owner, Mr. George, liked routine. He liked knowing what to expect. That morning felt normal at first. He unlocked the door, turned on the lights, and walked to the counter. That was when he noticed the receipt. It was already printed. The timestamp read 7:12 a.m. The cafe was still closed at that hour. The receipt was simple: 1 full breakfast, 1 coffee, paid in full. At the bottom, instead of a name or order number, there were only 2 words: Table 7. Mr. George frowned. He checked the register history. The payment had gone through, the money was real, no error, no warning. "Did you open early?" he asked Lena, the morning server. She shook her head. "No, I just got here." They both looked toward table 7. It sat near the window, facing the street. Nothing special. No bag, no coat, no sign that anyone had been there. "It's probably a mistake," Lena said. "Someone paid online and chose the wrong table." Mr. George nodded. But something felt wrong. The amount was exact, not random, enough for 1 person, nothing extra. When customers arrived, no one claimed the table. A man asked to sit there. Without thinking, Mr. George said, "It's reserved." The word surprised him. He didn't know why he said it. The table stayed empty all morning. Around 2 in the afternoon, Lena called him again. "Sir," she said quietly, "there's another payment." This one came through a different app. Same amount, same words. Table 7. No message, no name. Mr. George felt a tight pressure in his chest. 2 payments, same table, same day. "This isn't normal," Lena said. "No, it isn't." They checked the security cameras. Nothing unusual. No one entered early. No one touched the table. The cafe grew busier, but table 7 remained empty. Some customers glanced at it, then at the staff. One woman laughed. "Is someone famous coming?" No one answered. Near closing time, a regular customer named Paul walked in. He came every evening. He always sat by the window. "Is that table free?" Paul asked, pointing at table 7. Mr. George opened his mouth to say yes. Instead, he said, "No." Paul raised an eyebrow. "Since when?" "I don't know," Mr. George said honestly. Paul shrugged and sat somewhere else. As the cafe closed, Mr. George wiped down the tables. When he reached table 7, he stopped. It looked normal, clean, silent, yet it felt owned, as if someone had claimed it without ever showing their face. He turned off the lights and locked the door. The cafe was quiet again, but the question followed him into the night. Who was paying for the table, and why? The payments did not stop. Every morning, before the cafe opened, the receipt was already there. Same amount, same words. Table 7. After 5 days, it no longer felt strange. It felt planned. Mr. George began writing everything down in a small notebook. The time of payment, the method, the amount. Every detail matched. Whoever was paying knew the cafe's system well. The table stayed empty, always clean, always ready. The staff noticed things too. Lena said some customers came in, ordered only water, and sat near table 7. They stayed quiet. They looked toward the window, then they left, without finishing their drinks. "They don't look like they're waiting for food," Lena said. "They look like they're waiting for something else." Mr. George started watching the cafe more closely. He watched hands, eyes, small movements. Every stranger felt suspicious, but no one touched the table. No one asked about it. One afternoon, while cleaning, he bent down near table 7. That was when he saw it. A thin scratch under the table. Small, fresh, not deep enough to break the wood, but clear enough to be made on purpose. His heart beat faster. That night, he checked the security cameras. He watched every hour, every angle. No one went near the table. No one bent down. No one dropped anything. The scratch had no owner. The staff argued more each day. One worker wanted to stop accepting the payments. Another wanted to block the table completely. Lena suggested calling the bank. "And say what?" Mr. George asked. "That someone keeps giving us money?" There was no threat, no note, no message, only silence. The clues felt important, but they did not connect. The scratch, the quiet customers, the early payments, everything pointed somewhere, but nowhere clear. Then, near the end of the week, Mr. George found something new. A receipt from the night before was folded and placed under the register. On it, the cafe's closing time was printed as 9 p.m. The cafe closed at 8. He checked the system. No one had changed the hours. The register history showed nothing wrong, yet the receipt was real. "This is it," Lena whispered. "This is a warning." Mr. George felt cold. That night, he locked the doors early and sent the staff home. He stayed alone, watching the street through the window near table 7. Nothing happened. The next morning, he called the receipt company. After a long wait, they explained the mistake. The printer had used an old template from years ago when the cafe closed at 9. The time was wrong, but not on purpose. The scratch under the table? A loose screw from the chair. The quiet customers? Office workers from the building across the street using the cafe as a break spot. Each clue felt dangerous. Each had a simple reason. Still, the payments continued, and table 7 remained empty. Even without real danger, the feeling stayed. Mr. George realized something worse than fear had settled in: uncertainty. Not knowing why was more disturbing than any clear threat. Mr. George woke early that morning with a clear decision in his mind. He was tired of waiting, tired of wondering. When he reached the cafe, the receipt was already there again. Table 7, paid. He took a deep breath and placed a small reserved sign on the table before opening the doors. If someone wanted the table, they would have to speak. The cafe felt different that day, quieter than usual. Even the sound of cups and chairs felt too loud. Customers came and went, but no one asked about table 7. Still, Mr. George watched the door closely. Late in the afternoon, a man entered. He was neat, calm, unhurried. He did not look around for a seat. He walked straight to the counter. "Is that table still here?" the man asked. Mr. George felt his chest tighten. "Which table?" "The one by the window," the man said. "Number 7. Mr. George nodded slowly. "Why do you ask?" The man did not smile. "Because I've been paying for it." He did not order food. He did not sit. He only asked questions, quiet, exact. "How long has it stayed empty? Did anyone ever sit there? Did you change the position of the chairs?" Mr. George answered carefully. Then he asked the question that had followed him for days. "Why the table?" The man turned toward the window. Across the street stood an office building. One window, on the 3rd floor, faced directly toward table 7. "That seat has the clearest view," the man said. "No reflections, no shadows, just the window." Mr. George felt a chill. "You were watching someone." "Yes," the man said simply. "Not you, not this place." He explained in pieces. A private investigation, a case that needed patience, not attention. If customers sat there, the view would be blocked. If the table was always paid for, it would stay empty. "There was no danger to your cafe," the man said. "Only silence." Mr. George thought of the days of fear, the clues, the waiting. "What about now?" he asked. The man placed a final envelope on the counter. It's over. He left without another word. The next morning, no receipt appeared. Table 7 was no longer paid for. Mr. George stood in front of it for a long time. Then he made another decision. He removed the table. He carried it into storage and rearranged the café. The space felt lighter without it. Customers filled the gap without question. Life returned to normal. But sometimes when Mr. George looked at the window across the street, he wondered what had almost happened and how close his quiet café had come to something serious. The feeling never fully left, even without the table. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Stay curious and stay alert.